possibly a problem is that there are too many people in the system, and that contributes to the efficiency. We spend a lot of money taking care of many in the system whose contributions are negligible.
Are you by this point saying, well, the public service is overpopulated?
That will be my argument, yes. You know, because you can look at the public purse and the information that we get from various sectors, various economic sectors, both local, which is our government and the various agencies of government that produce these statistics, and the international markets that look at us. And nobody is disputing the fact that we have a seemingly overburdened public sector. You know, so efficiencies, if we are to measure them by performance, you'd have people who are not doing anything really, but are still in the system.
But tackling that challenge has been a headache for successive governments.
Yes.
I recall during the austerity measures under the NDC, were doing staff rationalization.
Yeah.
That policy measure for some did not even fix the problem, and we're still where we are today. The public sector still being a big drain on the national budget.
Yeah.
So do you have any solutions on that?
I wish I did. It's a policy issue, right? So the powers that be should make a conscious effort to look at how we can make the sector, or them, because they are employed in the system, right? Those things have to be reviewed. And I know, for instance, that the Office of Civil Service has initiated this process of improving the assessment of performance, and it's having some effect. You know, there are some lessons we can pick up from there to see how we can improve the performance output that we get from the public sector. So some of these decisions are, you know, clearly political decisions to be made, and the boldness required to them. We have a 4-year political cycle or election cycle in this country. By the time you go through the exercise of identifying who should be redeployed, what was the term in the 1980s?
Adjustments.
Adjustments, right. Your time is up and you have to go. And then the next government decides to not follow that path. And then they have to go back and essentially reinvent the wheel. So we have the cycle of constant assessments without implementation. You know, it's sad, and I say this, it's sad that people have to go home. You know, because what are they going to be doing? What are they going to feed their children with? How are they going to educate their children and all that? But it is sadder, I think, if we are not able to afford it, and for their benefit, the whole country suffers. You know, so
but if you ask them to go home, they are going to meet an outstanding number out there.
Going back to the sense of entitlement related to that, the government doesn't owe anybody a job. In fact, really, nobody owes anybody a job.
Really?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But they promise the jobs.
I don't owe any. That's a political thing. Right. Yeah, I don't owe anybody a job. The government doesn't owe anybody a job. It is up to us as individuals looking for jobs to find them or create them. Right? And again, we can look at economic history around the world.
Prof, the statements you're making, quite a lot of people out there may not really get the message.
I stand by it.
Because you take a look at the manifesto of the political parties. That's the biggest selling factor for them. Well, they go all out and say, we'll give you the jobs when we come into power.
I agree, but that's what I'm saying.
This is not just unique to one political party. All of them do this.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's a political decision. I'm not
so would you ask the political party to tone down on how they raise the hopes of the youth?
That's politics.
Right.
Yeah, so they can decide how they want to do that. Yeah. But I am not a politician. I'm speaking from a very pragmatic perspective. Yeah. I'm not going to promise anybody a job.
Right.
Because I don't think it is anybody's role to promise anybody a job. It is not my role. It is not the government's role to create these jobs. It is the individual. There is a certain kind of individual zeal, it's innate. I think it's innate.
Right.
Yeah, but we have not allowed that to manifest itself in our environment. We sent, this was in 2014, 2015, we sent some students